I don't know if you guys remember this. Just 3 years ago, there was a movie called The Great Wall, starring Matt Damon. It was a real movie. It was Matt Damon in ancient China fighting dragons and everybody spoke English. It's like, what the is this? But you gotta understand, I'm not mad at Matt Damon, okay? He's an actor. That's what he does for a living. That's how he gets a check. I get it. If somebody would have offered me a lead role in a movie called Mount Rushmore, I would play the out of George Washington, you know what I mean? No shame in my game. I'll play George Washington Carver if they let me. That's a black guy, by the way, I don't know. Gotta represent, man. I see a lot of people out here in the streets, they want to come up to me, but they're not really sure. There's a lot of debate amongst their friends. They're like, hey man, are you sure that's him? If we go up there, we gotta be sure, because if we go up there and it's not him, we're gonna look super racist. Are you sure that's not Ken Jeong? I don't know, looks kind of like Ali Wong, I don't know. And they come up to me, it's always like the first thing they say, like, hey man, aren't you that dude Jing Yang from that show Silicon Valley? And I was like, thanks. I'm like, yeah, thank you, I appreciate that. Yeah, I am. And then they're like, oh, I didn't even know you speak English in real life. I'm like, it's called acting. Like, did you really think Matt Damon was Chinese? Like, what's wrong with you? I don't know what the disconnect is. Like, if a white actor does a British accent, he's a thespian. He wins an Oscar. If I do a Chinese accent, I'm automatically from the old country. Representation matters, man. A lot of Asian people coming up to me, very proud, very nice. They're like, Jimmy, thank you for representing the Asians, man. I'm like, hey, you're welcome. But you do understand it's not really a choice, right? Like when you wake up Asian, you can only represent Asians. I couldn't just wake up one day, I'm representing Nigerians today. I'm very proud to represent Asians, but at the same time, there's so much pressure. Like nobody ever went up to Matt Damon and be like, hey Matt, thanks for representing the whites. Sounds weird, that's like a different conversation for some reason, you know? If somebody came up to me and be like, hey, Jimmy, I'm representing for the whites, I would leave that town immediately and never come back. So much pressure to represent. I gotta be a good Asian everywhere now. I gotta tip everywhere I go. That was one of the major advantages of being Asian, is I can just pretend I don't know how to tip. Y'all know what a Chinese tip is? Chinese tip, it doesn't matter how big your bill is, you tip $2. That's a Chinese tip, man. Now I gotta tip 20% everywhere. I gotta give every Uber driver a 5-star rating just so I can be a good representative. Everywhere I go, I gotta represent. Even day-to-day, even the bedroom, I gotta represent. After I hooked up with this one girl, this is what she said to me. She was like, Jimmy, I don't know how to tell you this, but you're the first Asian guy I've ever been with. I'm like, okay. What do you want, a fortune cookie? Like what do you want? She acted like she just unlocked a new character on Street Fighter or something. Why do you feel the need to say that? This one girl said this so disrespectful. This is what she said to me after we hooked up. She was like, Jimmy, I'm just glad the stereotype's not true. You don't have a small penis. And I'm like, I understand you just insulted my entire race of people. But thank you. First of all, thank you for thinking that I did have a small penis and we still had sex. You're the real MVP. You get 2 fortune cookies tonight, miss. Thank you. My dad still calls me like 20 times a day just to check up on me. It's annoying, but I understand that's how he shows love. I was talking to my friend here, and he was like, "Oh, I haven't talked to my dad in 3 weeks." I'm like, "What, is he in jail?" He was like, "No, I live with him. I just haven't talked to him in 3 weeks." I'm like, "You do understand, if I don't call my dad back in 3 hours, he's gonna call 911. 911, what's your emergency? My son is dead." It's like, "Sir, is everything okay? Is your son dead?" He's like, "No, but he's dead to me." Okay, bye. That's just how we show love. My parents, they've been married for 38 years. Yeah, 38 years. It's beautiful, man. It's beautiful. 38 years. One time I asked my dad, I was like, "Dad, after 38 years, do you still love Mom?" And he was like, "Love? Your mom married me to escape communist China. It's not love, it's a good deal." That's how we show love, people. I've been in this country for almost 20 years now. I think I feel every bit American. But I think other people still don't see that. As an Asian American, a lot of times people see you as Asian before they ever see you as American. Even still till today, whenever I tell people I'm from Hong Kong, this is always the first thing they say. They're like, "Oh yeah? You from Hong Kong?" "Yeah, dude, from Hong Kong, yeah." "Ni hao." Like, do you think that's impressive for something? I don't understand the mindset behind that. You coming up to me to say "ni hao," it's like me coming up to you guys after the show. I'm like, "Oh, you guys from here? Yeah, y'all from here? Hi." It's not impressive. It's annoying. It's stupid. I don't even like going to Chinese restaurants with some of my friends anymore, because this is what they do to me every time. They're like, "Jimmy, you speak Chinese? You speak Chinese? Yeah. Order in Chinese, bro. They're gonna hook it up. Order in Chinese? Bro, order in Chinese, bro." I'm like, "Bro, we're Panda Express." She's Mexican. Like, what? Her name tag says Consuela. That's not Mandarin or Cantonese. Nothing has really changed, you know? Like about 10 years ago, I went on a college trip to Tijuana, Mexico, because that's just what a good American college student would do. And the thing is, walking into Mexico from the US, they don't check anything. There's just a big revolving door. You walk right in. They don't even check your ID. It's easier to get into Mexico than a Costco. You just walk in. See, I'm like first generation, but my parents, they're like -9 generation, because they're so freaking Chinese. Like, it's really hard for me to watch TV with my dad because he's trying to make me explain everything to him. And first of all Asian people, they don't watch TV, they judge the TV. This is like, I'm just sitting next to my dad on the couch, and he's wearing his like old Asian man costume, which is just a wife beater and tidy whities. He's just sitting there, arms folded, judging the TV like. He just makes random noises around the house. Now whenever he sneezes, it's never just a sneeze. It's like a whole tsunami of sound waves that comes after. It's just like, "Achoo! Oh! Hey, shit! Oh!" I'm like, "What the f***? Did I just have an orgasm? What was that?" And he doesn't understand what I'm saying half the time. He's like, "Oh, there's an orgasm. Okay, the orgasm. And he tried to make me explain everything to him on TV. Do you understand how difficult it is to explain a rap music video to an old Chinese man? We're just sitting there, and my dad was like, "Oh, Jimmy, what I mean when he say Lamborghini Mercy, or what's that?" And I'm like, Dad, he's bragging about his car. It's a Lamborghini Murcielago, very expensive car. You know what that is, right? And he's like, oh, okay, yes. That's when you know they have no idea what the you just said. Like, okay, yes, a Lamborghini, okay. Jimmy, what did he mean when he say, your chick, she's so thirsty, or what's that? And I was like, Dad, he's making fun of somebody's girlfriend, okay? Saying like she likes attention from other guys and she likes to do sex stuff with them. You know, like blowjobs and such. And he's like, oh, okay, yes. Blowjobs, okay. Jimmy, I'm thirsty too, okay? So I was like, oh, God. No. Got lost in translation. It's disgusting. I don't know if you guys know this, but I came from an acting family. But it's not really like Angelina Jolie and Jon Voight. I guess I would be Angelina Jolie in that equation. My dad is also an actor, but he started acting after I did. Because he was like, it's so easy, you can do it, I can. Okay. I'm like, Dad, fine. If you think my life's so easy, why don't you go to some open call auditions and you understand how hard it is, how much rejection I face every day at my job. He was like, okay. And he went to all these auditions and he started booking everything. It's a true story. He got on this show in China, in mainland China, called Little Daddy, Xiao Baba. 500 million people watched that show. It's like the Big Bang Theory of China, and Richard blew up. And he was like, this isn't easy, I don't know. I grew up very stereotypically, man. I didn't play basketball, football. I grew up playing ping pong. Competitively. That was a serious national sport back home, man. You know, I didn't go to any like fun summer camp, space camp. My dad sent me to a ping pong training camp in Guangzhou, China. I almost died. It was 100 kids competing for one spot on the national team. It was basically Fortnite with ping pong paddles. We took that seriously though. My dad would take me to every practice, every tournament game, and he always tried to give me a pep talk before every game. But you know, Asian parents, they're way too honest. So every pep talk just turned into an insult. Like he would come up to me and be like, Jimmy, you're going to play well, okay? Even though you're slow, even though you're weak, and you suck. And then he would just walk away. I was very good at math. That's a big Asian stereotype. I think there's some truth to that, not because of some weird genetic thing, just because our parents care so much more about mathematics and academics, right? You guys seen it? You guys seen those like Kumon Learning Centers in those strip malls, right? Kumon Learning Centers, for you guys that don't know, are basically detention camps for young Asian children. You can tell that place is kind of f***ed up by the look of its logo. Because it's supposed to be a smiley face, but it's not really smiling. It's just like, man. My parents were way too cheap to send me to Kumon. They got a different strategy. They never let me use a calculator until I turned 15, so I can work on my brain function. That's an old school Chinese strategy. You know, so when I turned 15, it was a very special occasion. It was basically my quinceañera. My dad just gave me a TI 83 plus. And he looked me in the eyes, and he was like, you're a woman now, okay? But when you're a kid, when your parents tell you can't do something, what do? You rebel, right? So when I was 14 years old, I stole my brother's calculator. I stole Roy Rogers' calculator. And I locked myself in my room, and I started rebelling. I started doing math homework. Other kids were like around with like alcohol and drugs. I was up some problems, you know? Locked myself in a room. I was just punching in numbers. I was like, oh man, this feels great, you know? It's so wrong. It's awesome. My dad was pissed. He was knocking the other side of the door. He doesn't like locked doors in the house. And he was screaming. He was like, Jimmy, what are you doing inside? Come out right now. I know you're in there using a calculator. Come out right now. I was so scared. I didn't know what to do. And he unlocked the door and he came in. I went into full panic mode, so I just threw away the calculator and I pulled out my pants. I was like, Dad, I was just jerking off. And he came in and he looked at me and then he looked at the math homework. And he was like, good, very good. Very good. Very good. You must have really liked math. That's good. That's good. Keep it up. Because there's nothing that will make your Asian father more proud than to see his son jerk off to his math homework.